Hello, on this video I'm going to talk about Python's strings. A string is a very complex data type and it's got everything but the kitchen sink. It's very powerful and lets you do a lot of things. So let's take a look at the documentation first before we start writing any code. So if you go to the Python website and take a look on the string library, you're going to see that there is a lot of constants, a lot of formatting, a lot of functions and functionalities, syntax for you to learn about a string. You can do just about anything you want to do with a string. So the documentation is quite large, the functionality is quite large, and there is no way that I can cover everything in a single video. So because of that, I want to cover the parts of the string functionality that I think it's used the most, or I think it's the easiest one for you to start learning with. So if I come to my code here, I can start writing some string functionality. So first I'm going to create a variable. Variable is going to be name, and I'm going to assign this Jane Doe. And after that I'm going to print name. So now I print Jane Doe. But what I can do as well, I can concatenate two strings. So I'm going to concatenate name and here I'm going to put another string. And then if I print the name again, I get the concatenated value, Jane Doe plus blah. What I can do as well is do something similar, but instead of blah, I can put a number. So I'm going to put a number 21 here. Note that I'm putting quotes around the 21 because once I put quotes, the number 21 becomes a string 21. So this works well. If I don't put the string, this does not work because you cannot mix integers with the string. You have to force this number to be a string. In other words, you need to convert this integer into a string. To do that, we just use the str function. And then if we print it again, we get success. So it adds the 21 over there. So this way here is a way for you to convert the integer to a string. And then once the conversion is done, you can concatenate this string with this string. And you can do that with multiple values as well. So I'm going to put here. And then if I run this program, it does all the concatenation for me. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the escape sequence. So the escape sequence is when you put a backward slash, that's called escape, and then a character. So once you do that, the character changes its meaning. So the escape character plus n becomes a new line, a t becomes a tab, r return, and so on. So let's look at the code. So if I print this, Jane Doe comes in one line only. But if I want to put the Doe on the next line, right here, I want to put escape and then an n. And then what it does, it just puts a new line right before the Doe and prints that in two lines. So now I have Jane Doe in two lines. Now I can change the n for a t, and that puts a tab for me. So if I run, it puts a tab between the Jane and the Doe. So the backward slash is the escape character, and it escapes something to change its meaning. So without the backward slash, the t is just a t. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is slicing. So the string is nothing but a sequence of characters. And if I want to get a character at a given position, I just need to give the position of the character. So here in the name, I'm printing the entire thing. But if I put brackets and then put a number right here, I'm going to pick up the character that's on the position number 2. So if I run, it gets the n. So it's important for you to note that the position starts with a 0. So the letter J here is position 0, letter A is position 1, and then letter N is position 2. That's because Python is a zero-indexed language. So here it starts with a 0. So if I want to pick up the J, I'll put 0 here, and I'll pick up the J. So if I want to pick up the E, I'm going to put 0, 1, 2, 3, and that picks up the E. So in other words, I just want one character out of this string here. But what if I want more than one? What if I want 2 or 3 characters? So for that case, I'm going to put a column and then the position. So this is the starting point, and then you want the ending point. So I'm going to put the ending point 5 here. Now, very important to know that this is the start position. You include the character at position 3, but it ends at 5 and you do not include the 5. So in this case here, it picks up 3 and 4 only. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 happens to be the E, and 4 is the empty space. So this code is going to print E and space. Let's run it. So it prints E and there's a space right here. So I'm going to pick up to the 6th character now. So it picks up the E, the space, and then the letter D. So there it is. So it's very important here to remember it's where it starts and where it ends, but the second number here, it's exclusive. It does not pick up the second number. The other thing you can do, you can get the length of a string. So here I'm going to print. So the len function prints the length of a string. And the length is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 characters. Therefore, the len prints the length of the string. Another interesting thing is the strip function. So let's say I have a empty space before and after the character, and if I want to print everything but the empty characters, in other words, I want to strip the empty characters, then I print the name dot strip, and that removes the heading and the trailing empty characters. Just note that it does not remove any empty characters in the middle. It just removes the ones in the beginning and on the ends of the string. So another interesting one is the toLower. So this one makes everything lowercase on your string. So there is a string, everything in lowercase. And then if you want to make everything uppercase, then guess what? The method is called upper. So if you run the upper method, then everything on your string gets capitalized. Another one is the replace method. And here I'm going to replace something with something. So I'm going to replace the letter A with the letter X. So if I run, everything that has A gets replaced with X. Or if I just want to remove A, I can replace A with nothing. And then if I run, now the A gets removed from the string. And also you can check if a substring is on this string here. So for that, I'm gonna print the string that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for the string NE in name. And then this returns true if the any is inside the name string. If it's not, then it returns false. So this just looks for a substring in the string. And there are a lot of more methods for the string data type. Because this video is getting too long already, I am not gonna cover everything. But remember, just about anything you wanna do with a string, there is already, most likely, a built-in function for you to use. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.